Welcome to iLights, a short recap of the lesson for the Sunday School adult class at First Baptist Church of Bridgeville, PA. Today we'll summarize the lesson, Faith Requires Mutual Love, from Hebrews and 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Nothing can replace our love for others. Working on their behalf is fine, but it is meaningless unless our work is motivated by love. In today's lesson, we will see how Christian love is essential to effective ministry. The phrase brotherly love comes from the Greek word Philadelphia, which means mutual love. And tongues has the simple idea of languages. The unifying principle for today's lesson is steadfast love. People search for a workable and reliable definition of love. The writers of Hebrews and 1 Corinthians define love and tell us that it is greater than faith and hope. In Paul's letter to the believers in Corinth, we see the challenges that faced the early church. Corinth was a large metropolis with a diverse population. The house churches that the Corinthian Christians worshipped in reflected the city's diversity. One issue Paul addressed to the Corinthians was unity among themselves, emphasizing the importance of their relationships with one another. That brings us to our verse for today's lesson, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three. But the greatest of these is charity. And once again, that is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13. At a glance, our lesson can be divided into four main parts, all centered around the topic of what love is. In Hebrews chapter 13, verses 1 through 3, it expresses a plea for brotherly love. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 3, it shows that love is the basis of our faith. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7, it shows that love is the proof of our gifts. And finally, in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 8 through 13, it shows and expresses the idea that love is permanent. There are four main points to our lesson today. First, it is our love for God that must be the source of our love for others. Next, love for one another can stop due to not asking for forgiveness when we sin and refusing to forgive someone who hurts us. Next, without love, spiritual gifts, understanding, and communication are all useless. And finally, love is practical and must be put into practice and measured on a daily basis. And here's the lesson in our society. Paul makes it clear that for the believer, love is the key. It is love that enables us to reproduce the very character of Jesus Christ in our lives and in our ministry efforts. It is only when we have love that we can access the other fruit of the Spirit. Without love, we cannot genuinely be patient, peaceful, good, gentle, or display any of the other qualities. We may be able to imitate them, but without love, they won't be a part of our character, nor will we be able to fully embrace them in order to do the kingdom-building work Christ has commissioned us to do. So over the next week, pray and ask God to reveal to you areas where you may have failed to demonstrate love towards your co-laborers. Then ask God what you can do to remedy the situation. Also ask Him how to show love to those who don't show it to you. It may call for you to make apologies and seek forgiveness and forgive others. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of iLights and will join us the next time where we'll learn from the topic Stephen's arrest and speech from Acts chapter 6. Until then, may the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. God bless. Thanks for listening. Take care and see you the next time on iLights.